Please state your name and your job title.
Hi, my name is Nisar Jimenez Figueroa, and I work with the College Access Program at Kensington Kappa High School in Philadelphia. The program is under Philadelphia Education Fund.
What is your role specifically in
Uh,
Kensington High?
At Kensington, I am the college advisor, and I work with a cohort of 212 students ranging from grades 9 through 12. My purpose here is to kind of fortify a college-going environment, have students aware of their career paths and what opportunities lie outside of high school, post-secondary education. So I work most heavily with our 11th and 12th graders, going to career fairs, college fairs, bringing college representatives here, working with them and the counselors and the teachers when it comes to personal essays, college applications, SAT, ACT, registration, and prep classes.
What is like some of the vision and mission of of Kensington? Like, what do you guys want to get? Like, what do you guys want to help the most with for the kids?
So the school mission, sorry about that. The school mission is K Kappa Proud. So with our new principal, she's been here this is her second year here, so she's trying to instill an environment where this is a learning environment and it's also a home. So attendance and accountability to the student is trying to be pressed a little bit more. There's a uniform change so that the students feel like they're coming to a building where they're here to be educated. There's still some issues just because of the demographics that we're in, but it's getting there little by little to try to help that change.
Okay, what would be some of the struggles for the kids coming out of high school, getting into college, and getting through college?
Okay, that's the most important question, is getting through. Again, I am the college advisor here, and it's like leading the horse to the water, but a lot of times we can get them in, but are they finishing? And that is really just their foundation and their basic education. That's the biggest struggle, and I'm not sure if it's money, if it's budgeting, what it is, but our students are not always prepared. Not to say that our students aren't intelligent, they are very much so intelligent, but we don't have the resources here to really get them to that next level of preparedness so that they can feel comfortable going into a college level course and passing it.
What are some of the issues? What do you think some of the biggest issues you face helping the kids, and specifically how can you basically help them get that college mindset and access? What do you try to do to help them?
Many of our students are first generation students, so it's not like they can go home or their parents are pushing them to go to college, not because they don't want what's best for their kids, but they just don't know, or they fear the cost of going to college. So a lot of times that's an issue right there. So the kids feel, I just need to graduate high school and go to work so I can help my family. So trying to change that mindset around and letting them know that you're better off, you can have a more comfortable life with an education rather than just going to work now is kind of hard to break. But also having the students understand that they're intelligent and they have more worth. Sometimes they feel, I can't go to college, that's not me. So that's another thing that we have to kind of change and say there's so many different options. Just doing post-secondary isn't just going to college. It could be anything, a trade school, as long as you have a skill. And I try to let them know that the world right now, you're competing with thousands of kids that are graduating at the same time as you. So you have to have some kind of skill or something post-secondary to compete with that job, for that job. So getting to their head about that is also a struggle. And again, our resources. We don't have AP courses here. We don't have honors courses here. So you have a classroom filled with all level kids, and a teacher is expected to teach to the higher level, middle level, and low level. And so that kind of classroom control is just impossible.
It's really tough.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you like about your job the most? What has been your impact on the community?
I'm not sure if I have an impact on the community, but for me, if I have a student who once came in as a 9th grader saying I would never go to college, and then come into their 12th grade year and say, I am ready for this, I'm ready to do something with my life that's positive, I think that is probably the best thing about my job, is that we one student at a time, we're gaining ground. that education is their key to success. For people can take away so many different things, but you can't take away your own morals, your own values, and your education. So getting through to those hard students, is the ones that are resilient, is the best feeling.
Okay. Can you help me with understanding the process of how high school students would connect, how they connect with you, and how much involved do you help them get into finding programs and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. So for me, it's about getting out there in the classrooms. I'm in the hallways. They don't see me as an outside partner. They see me as staff. Going to their classrooms, talking about different careers. I really try to engage the 9th and the 10th graders the most when it comes to those kind of things. Like I'll have I have STEM career speakers workshop where each month I bring in a new STEM person to the same class so they kind of see, oh, okay, this is what science and math is about, so they can connect it and correlate it with what they're actually learning. They're not just saying, why am I taking this class? I'm never going to use it in the future. Well, you are if you get into these kind of fields. And in that way, they get to know who I am. They understand that they can always come to me or to their counselors or if they have any questions about those kind of things. So that's how I try to relate with them. And of course, they're kids. So anytime they say free or trip, they're going to go. And if that's what I need to do to get them interested, that's what I do.
Do you feel, though, that it's a racial wealth gap between African Americans and Latino students from Caucasian students?
Yes. I'm not sure if yes, it is a racial gap. But I also think it's a class gap. So you can have a Latino and African American student in the suburbs who have a better education system be just as successful as their Caucasian counterparts. Here in the city, however, the demographics is totally different, and there is a huge gap. And I think Kensington is one of those areas where you can see it the most, and it's blunt and in your face. If you look at our school itself, it's on Front Street, and if you look out the window, if you're on the second floor and you look out the window from both sides, you'll see the left side of the train is the hood. Then you see the right side, and there's beautiful buildings being built all over the place, and they're like $1 million homes. And there's some, that's where you can see the gap. So why is that? Why is it that one side of the street is one way and the other? So there is an education gap, and the biggest piece I really feel is education.
It's deep. So what would you like to see grow as your years go on here? What's some of the things you wanted to grow at Kensington?
The accountability on all parts. There's not one entity that can say it's your fault, because it really is never that black or white. It's the parents. They have to be accountable to their students and to their child's education. They have to fight a little bit more. They have to be more vocal. They should be in the school a lot. They should be down at the district a lot, asking, why does my student not have a computer lab? Why does my student not have the facility or the teachers to teach honors and AP? Because if they're talking and if they're yelling and they're kind of talking about what they want to see for their kids, then somebody will move and make action. But that's not happening enough. 2, you have your students. It's their education. We got ours already. So it's really up to them to say, this is what I want to do, and in an appropriate way. Talking about what they want to see in their schools and what they feel will help them improve on their education. And students have to be accountable. They have to come in on time. They have to ask the appropriate things and in the right manner. And of course, the teachers. The teachers have to be accountable to what they're teaching. They can't just say, well, it's hard to manage the class. You have to find a way. If you need help, then find your resources to help you do that. And talk to the district. This is what I need in my classroom. Or these are the things that could have a conducive classroom to where everyone is learning at their own pace. So if we're all accountable for everything, then I think that can change. That will change what's being learned in the classroom, and the students will feel and understand that they are intelligent and they can achieve more things in life.
Good, well put. What part of your job means the most to you?
I know. Working with the students. I am a direct service person. I can't see myself, in the offices just making policy changes. That's great, we need that, but I need to be in the trenches, I need to be in the ground. I think that they need to see a person that was probably in their same shoes be successful. You don't have to be rich, but you have to be a positive person in your community. And if they can see that in their schools and in their environment, then they too also know that they can do it.
How does it feel to help the youth of today get into college and help them accomplish some of their goals?
For whatever reason, the last 2 weeks, even more so than ever before, I feel like I have a mission, like my purpose or my mission in life right now is to put some kind of fire in their hearts, because our country is going through a change. And now more than ever, we need to say we are skilled, we are here, and we matter. And the only way to really, really do that is to get your education, because a lot of things are going to change, and we have to be accountable and have the skills and be ready to take those jobs and to show that we are just as intelligent and we are just important for this nation, because without us and without our youth, where will we be?
Right. What is some of your deepest, what's some of your deepest fears you have for your students transitioning into college?
Some of my fears are that they're not willing to be open. I think on both sides, we go into our stereotypes of what we think we know about people. And that's not just on one side of the coin, it's on both sides. And so I fear that they're going to go into a college that's going to be different from their environment that they've ever had before, and they're not going to be willing to be open to kind of learn about other people, about where they come from and all those other kind of things. They're going to stay with their own, which is great to see your own on a different college campus, right. But you need to be open. You need to see other perspectives on life. That's what makes us a person. That's what makes us grow and question maybe what we've been taught all our lives. So that's my biggest fear, that they can't adjust as well.
So adjustment is the biggest thing that you think they're going to face, and probably time management.
Time management, and also asking for help. Sometimes our pride gets in our way, and we're all going to need help. And it's horrible when you go to school, into a college campus. And I've had this happen actually with two of our students who went to a summer program at Franklin and Marshall. Where they went to Franklin and Marshall, and they noticed their education gap with other students compared to other students from around the nation, and they felt insecure. They were very intelligent, and they were able to get into this program. And so I let them know, like, if you were intelligent and they saw that you should be into this program, then you have what it takes. Yes, there is an education gap, but that means now that you have to work harder. You have to ask for those resources. You have to ask for help, and that's not a downgrade on who you are. It just means that you're okay with asking for help, and using the resources on the campus because you paid for it.
All right, right about that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I haven't asked about? Is there anything that I haven't asked about you, or you want to? That is important that you want people to know?
Not really. I love my job. I think that we need more support from the outside. There are so many things that people can do from college campuses, different companies out there in the city. Giving back to your local school can make a difference. So if that's the message that I want to leave, is that come back to, or go out to an environment that you don't know or you haven't been in before, and talk to our youth, because they need to see a different world. They need to see that there's something else besides their little block in Kensington.
All right. Well, thank you for this opportunity of getting to know you and again being able to interview.
Thank you.